Hello, it's Nikki. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you've got enough opportunity to take care of yourself and give yourself what you need. And the world feels a lot right now. So I want to be really practical today. And I want to give you a tool that I find really, really useful. And that is talking about imposter syndrome. I did 2 talks last week, and it often comes up, this question about imposter syndrome, aka feeling like you're going to get found out, or are you good enough, or are you ready, or who would want to hear from you, etc., etc. And I always say in every talk and in every answer that this comes up every time, because it does. Because often what is personal is universal, and people will still have that slightly shy angle to it of like, people probably don't talk about this, or probably doesn't happen to anybody else, but I just wanted to ask anyway. So be rest assured, first and foremost, if you have ever felt any ounce of imposter syndrome, you are not the only one. And in fact, you are part of the majority. Whenever we are doing something or putting ourselves out there, it often conflicts with what we've been told as children of be seen or not heard, don't be a show off, hold back, respect adults, know your place, all of these things. So when we get to this point in our adult life of going, right, I'm going to go for this, let's do this, let me show everybody what I'm all about, what my business, what my brand is all about, it can cause a bit of conflict, and it can sometimes feel like we're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. So here is what my response was when people were talking about imposter syndrome. And this is a really practical thing that you can do whenever something that doesn't serve you comes up. And that is to welcome it. To welcome it to come up to the surface and to be there fully. So for example, if you're in a scenario where perhaps you're launching something, or you've just created a new website, or you're beginning a new series of content on Instagram, or you just want to put your face more on the internet, you might have all those feelings. Who am I to do this? What if nobody sees it? Is it all going to be worth it? Etc. Any of those thoughts that you have, bring them up. It's almost like that Jerry Springer moment of like, come on down, come and take a chair, come and sit there. And what I was saying in this talk was, wherever you can, to keep it light and to remove the heaviness of it. So instead of seeing that imposter syndrome and feeling like you're dragging it along, like, oh my gosh, this feels so heavy, bring that lightness to it. So give it like the sense of a ping pong ball or something like that, or like a fluffy blanket or something that you can move around with very easily, or a balloon or something like that. And take a moment to be in that conversation with your imposter syndrome, and start that conversation, that interaction, with a smile. With a, oh, here you are again. All right. Oh, you've arrived again. And again, play around with this. I know it sounds quite abstract the way that I'm doing this, and you might think that I'm completely bonkers, but it really, really works. Because what will happen is, if that imposter syndrome is a habit, is something ingrained in your brain, unless you bring it to the surface, it's going to keep doing what it's doing. So I do it sometimes with my children, you know, when they're not listening, they might be doing something really irritating, and I'll say, please stop, or we don't do that, or whatever it might be. And they might do it 2 or 3 times. And then I know that I've got to have that moment where I really break it. Like, this listening thing, this me saying it over and over again is not working. So we need to come together. So whether that's asking them to come and do something else and have a conversation, and I basically break that pattern. this is going to be something really great for you with imposter syndrome. And to welcome it and say, wow, isn't it funny that you turn up again and again? Isn't it funny that when I'm trying to move out of my comfort zone and do something that I know deep down I'm capable of, isn't it funny that you appear again? And you seem to appear all the time. I wonder why that is. I wonder why this continues to happen. I wonder where this really stems from. I wonder if what this imposter syndrome is saying is actually true or not. And so I know you can't see my face, but as I'm saying it, it's that kind of light-hearted smile like, hello, how can I help you? What's going on? And there's something about it that when you bring it to the surface, when you have that scenario where you're sitting next to each other, eyeball to eyeball, suddenly it's not as bad as you think. So if you've ever had to have one of those conversations that you're absolutely dreading, or I don't know, you have a meeting or an interview or an appraisal or a breakup or a difficult family conversation, you can have that sense of it building up and up and up and feeling worse and worse. And generally, I mean, it's not always the case that when you've actually done that conversation, you might have that sense of, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay. This is what it is. And you know how to move forward. So I want you to firstly make that commitment to greet that imposter syndrome with a smile, with lightness, and welcome it in to have a conversation. Because also as well, what will happen if you do the opposite of like, right, I've just got to move forward, you're just going to have your back wheels against it essentially, and you're going to know that it's there and you're going to keep bopping into it. So welcome it, bring it to the surface. And then be that investigative journalist with it. Bring a bit of Emily Maitlis energy to it and inquire. Ask yourself, why? What's going on here? But again, not like, come on, I've got to get to the bottom of this. But do it with a smile. Do it with that lightness of like, why does this always happen? Who told me this lie? Or who assumed that I would have to do this in this way? Interesting. I would love, as always, to hear what you gain from this and what comes to the surface. And as always, my emails, my DMs are always open. hello@nikkiraby.com or @nikkiraby across social media. Let me know what's popping to the surface. As always, these spaces are confidential, but also if you want to find out more about exploring this further, do book one of my pick and mix sessions. They're available on my website, so you can have a look through and then we can talk about availability, etc. It's the 1st of March today. It's a really great time to begin the beginning of the month, knowing that you're putting things in place. And I really invite you to bring your ideas and your plans and your dreams to life. I know so many of us have these lists of things that we want to do, and the fact that they might not be happening as quickly as possible, there may be some blocks in there. There may be some old limiting beliefs, some things that need to be cleared out with care, with kindness before you move forward. So if you would like to book one of those sessions, do get in touch with me, hello@nikkiraby.com. Also, you can check out the sessions page, nikkiraby.com/sessions, or join my mailing list and get one of your freebies, nikkiraby.com/freebies. There is a theme here. That's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day, whatever it is that you're doing. We are getting ready to move. And I've definitely confirmed that I don't want to live in a neutral brown box house because we are surrounded by boxes at the moment, but it's all very exciting. So more as and when, and I'll speak to you very soon. Lots of love. Bye.